Alrighty, you guys, so we've got Beast coming out very soon, and with that I kind of want to get a bit of a head start. Alright, now what I mean by that is have some artifacts at the ready. Of course, when we pull the unit, leveling up, that's going to be one thing, so make sure you've got gold on hand. But of course, artifacts, that's another thing. Now, of course, that's going to push our Beast to be a little bit more powerful. So with that, what I wanted to do is kind of get ahead of the game in terms of not only just artifacts, as I've just mentioned, but to see if I can get a better understanding on the character when it comes to his kit. So obviously we know the premise of Beast, you know, bleed, damage. Also he applies bleed himself, but he can correlate into that by getting a plus 30% on his attack and attack speed, of course. But we do know that he's going to be a dark type attacking unit, or a is it attacker? I can't remember the terminology that you use, but it's going to be an attacker basically. And the only two attackers we have in the game itself are both wind types. So looking at obviously their skills and their builds, just to kind of see and get an idea on how Beast could be coming in. So everything falls in line with the defense side of things, so that's something to cater to if that is going to be the case. I'm hoping it's just potentially attack rather than him kind of feeding off from his defense, but if that is the case, then we'll have to cater to it, because of course with both the attackers in the game do both cater to defense, so that's something to take note. So just kind of wanted to throw that in there when it comes to looking into the whole artifact side of things. So with the artifacts, we'll start things off with the accessory side of things on what to use. Now with myself, and what I'm actually starting to work towards before he releases, fingers crossed I get lucky with some good substats rolls, is with the accessory sets. I think I'm leaning more towards the Berserker set, because obviously with Beast himself, when it comes to the ultimate, he's going to be applying bleed onto himself, so we're already taking DOT damage. Not only that, it will come to the point where will allow the enemy to do 15% more damage to us. However, we do get that 30% buff in terms of doing more damage as well as our attack speed. So it's a bit of a trade-off. But there's already things set in place where Beast is actively taking damage and taking more damage from that. And so I think personally what I'm going to be doing is catering to getting the condition of not falling below 50%, because that is just horrendous. I'm probably going to put a full set of Berserker to cater to that 70% mark, so that way I get that extra additional 30% on top of the already a 30% that I'm getting. Get that 60%, why not? So I think the Berserker set is going to be the best for it as of right now. Once we get the full kit, we'll have to wait and see, but from what we know with what his skills are doing, that's kind of what we're at. So just to give you guys also another bit of a breakdown, so when it comes to the necklace, the main stat will forever always be additional HP. So if I actually go over to my sets actually, so yeah, I'm having a very hard time getting some high rarity, but yeah, so the main stat will always be additional HP. In terms of the substats and what I'm looking for, I feel like it really is going to be attack, damage increase, defense penetration. I feel like that might be the substats and what we're going to be trying to cater to. Now again, if his stats is catering to defense, then defense is what we're going to need in terms of substats, including like defense penetration, damage increase and all that stuff. I'm also going to cater to attack, so I think those are the four as of right now is what I'm going to be looking at. If defense isn't on the board, then I'll probably just get rid of that and be additional attack. I think that's kind of what I'm going to be leaning towards, just getting full on damage. Obviously there's also the crit side of things. I haven't really forgotten about it. I'm just kind of leaving it to one side until we get the full release of the character, so we can understand that if crit is going to be something that we want to cater to. I feel like you can quite easily build that if you choose to, so that's something that you want to do. But for the necklace side of things, additional HP is going to be the main stats, and you can't change that because it's always additional HP, so there's that. Just to quickly go through it, when it comes to the ring itself, you've got a choice. The ring is where you know it's going to come down on having that perfect artifact, because the ring, when it comes to the main stats, you can get additional HP, you can get HP, you can get attack, you can get additional attack, you can get additional defense, and you can get defense. So the ring out of all the artifacts will give you the most chances of getting that perfect main stat and then falling in line with that substats. So again, I think for me, if he doesn't cater to defense, then I'm going to lean towards attack. I think that's where I'm going to be at. I think that will be the best option, to be honest. And then at that point, as I've mentioned with the substats, we're going to try and cater to. Do I have anything? Because Do I have anything? No defense. Oh, I've got a defense, but I might have to take off to YOONHO. I might have to. Oh god. Okay. Well, yeah, my RNG luck is been pretty bad, you know, not to say the least. And then of course, when it comes to the bracelet, we are going to be focusing on dark damage. No. Yeah, he's a dark type. Oh my god, my brain nearly went then. Yeah. So we're going to be. Oh, that would have been so beautiful if you were only dark type. Anyway, do I have anything for dark? Oh god, I'm telling you boys, I am going to buy a ton of keys, and I'm just gonna literally grind to get a dark one of the bracelets, because it's crazy that I don't have anything for dark. That is insane. Yeah. So that's pretty much. Oh, the earrings. Did I talk about the earrings? I don't think I did. So the earrings always are going to be additional MP. They're always going to be additional MP. So that will never change. So that's pretty much the accessory side of things on what I'm choosing to do in terms of getting the accessories done for Beast before he releases. So yeah, bruh, they need to release substats reroll, because that goddamn look, oh my, look how perfect this would have been. Why are you there? Like, this should have been attack, because I don't mind getting the extra HP. I mean, again, that helps us out. So that's super annoying. That healing needs to go. But anyway, yeah. Now, in terms of the gear sets, it's going to be an interesting one, because as we see right here, so the Magic Beast Claws increases the damage of basic attacks by 7% for each instance of bleed effect applied to the target. On top of that, Deadly Claw increases the damage of core attacks according to the number of bleed effect instances applied to the target. Obviously, we recover small HP. The Magic Beast Claw has its basic attack enhancement effect doubled. So I kind of want to, as it stands right now, I feel like the Solid Foundation set might be something great for him in terms of catering more to the basic attack increase as well as the core attack increase that we can apply. And then of course this also does help us out with the gauge on the core being charged up. This might be a good set, because I was initially what I was thinking of doing is giving him the armed set, maybe +2 in it, so that way we get that +5% on the attack and then +2 in this. But I think I'm more in line in just putting a full set of Solid Foundation just to support the basic and the core attack even furthermore to what he's already doing with his initial kit. So that's kind of where I'm probably going to be leaning towards to get that initial kit out there. But because this is a more of an upgrade of a gear set, and if you don't have this specific gear set or a full set of it, then I think what might be best is I mean, to be honest, you can double up on the arm set, and then if you want the almighty, the one-hit kill set in terms of getting that ultimate increase, if you want to. Well, actually, no. Wait, doesn't he? No. Yeah, no, he does ultimate damage. For a second there, I thought he maybe does the little the roar to kind of charge him up, but I don't think that's the case. I think there is like an ultimate attack which you might be able to apply. But I think at the very least you might be able to just full on apply the arm set, so that way you get that 15% bypass on the defense and attacks. So you can run a full set of that. I think at the very least that might be a nice little set to start things off with. But I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm hunting down the Solid Foundation set, so that way I can cater more to that from what his kit is already applying. So that's kind of what we're looking at. So obviously, to talk further more on the artifact side of things, so obviously with the helmet, when it comes to the main stats, this will obviously you'll have the choice of defense, additional defense, attack, additional attack, HP, and additional HP. Once again, just like the ring, when it comes to the accessory side of things, depending on what he feeds off from in terms of his damage percentage, of course, that will determine what the main stat will be for the helmet. Obviously, when it comes to the chest piece, that will always be additional defense. When it comes to the gloves, this will always be additional attack. And then when it comes to the boots, you've got HP, healing increase being given, defense penetration, and critical hit damage. So again, if he's working off from the defense side of things, we can maximize the helmet and the boots from that, of course, unless you want to, I don't know, feeding into more defense penetration, unless you also choose to go for, you know what, I'm gonna build a crit beast. And if you're gonna build a crit beast, well, it'll be interesting to see. I might do it, but as of right now, I'm just gonna cater to playing it safe. The thing which I will actually mention and not forget about is obviously with the Executioner set, because I mean this now falls in line with the enemy's HP. Because also got to keep in mind, we're also applying DOT, and if Beast's damage output is disgustingly high out there, we might be able to cater more to the Executioner set. I think what it will come down to on which set will be best is looking at the substats. So if you've got decent substats, then the Executioner set will be better for him, I guess, in terms of the better substats. But the Berserker set is also pretty optional in terms of, again, the damage that he can take and get his health below 70% to then get that plus 30%, because I guess the Executioner you only get plus 20%. Yeah, there you go, extra 10%. So I think it truly does come down to both sets working. It just depends what artifacts you've got better in terms of substats. That's pretty much it, as well as the artifacts in the main stats with the bracelet and the ring, because the bracelet you got to have the specific dark damage. So